Welcome to the second video for Skaven tactics, and now I will show you how my list work in detail. First, forget that you will play high scoring games. This is a list who wants to win like 11-9, 12-8. Sometimes if your opponent do small mistakes, 13-7, or will play like a draw or lose only shortly like 9-11 or 8-12. So you will become every time really close games. Only if your opponent do really crazy things and make great mistakes, then you will win higher. Or if you roll like my last game, dice at the VTC, then you will maybe lose high. Because when you only roll ones and twos in combat, then it can become crazy, but that's not statistic. So normally this don't will happen. That's the first thing. You will have close games if your opponent can play. The next thing is I could place my Plague Monks in the middle and then go straight forward, but then I have a problem when they stay not Empire and Bretonia. They can fly around and attack me in my flank or my rear, and then I would also lose really high. So first of all, look at the table and show a safe position where you can stay defense if you need it. I choose at this point the right corner, because here I have the option to go forward if I want, to have protection of one side from this building, and if it goes a little bit bad, then I can stay, or in the first turns I can stay behind and throw magic missiles and something else. So second thing, look that you have a good defensive position. If you play against a very aggressive player and aggressive army list, that your opponent can't go around you and kill other things. If I would play versus Bretonia, maybe I would put this unit like this, and when he comes nearer, I could decide to go in one or the second way. So I'm more flexible, and my opponent must really think where he will put his units. And I think that's it for the moment. Also, you have the Night Runners. The Night Runners can block units, give the opponent don't line of sight, or stay in the way and use the reaction flee, or something like this. Later in this video, I will show you another option for the night runners, two other options, how you can use them. Okay. At this point, like I tell you, why I have one unit on the left side if I would deploy like this. Because then if my opponent have scouts, he can't place them inside my deployment zone. That I don't risk that something goes after deployment in my flank of my army. That's also sometimes it's could be really important. So I put a little bit other units on the other side that you can have a look what could happen. Okay, the next thing you must understand is that I shown you before that I use Steeds of Shadows. It's one of my favorite spells, and Arcane Urgency. The problem is Warhol puts the spells over. And why these spells are really great. Yes, I can bring my Plague Monk's brick really fast and make them really fast and move again. But all my opponents most times think that. But I can also use the spells to do this with my night runners. And in a few moments I will show you what I mean with this. First, I forget, that's also really, really important, how I place my Plague Monks. And maybe you will think why he put the Plague Monks only 9 models wide. First, you need for your leadership rank bonuses. And if I stay too wide, then if I lose models, I could maybe become problem with leadership. And the second one, why I don't do this, is they are not so maneuverable, and I become more problems to wheel with them and something like this. And now comes the most important thing why I place them only 9 wide. Like I said in the last video, in your army and this block, most times the characters do the damage. And so it's important that I have the characters at the right time, at the right place into the unit. And now you will say, oh, if you only stay 9 wide, you can only put 4 characters because of too many characters in the first ring. That's right, and that's what I want. Because first I start every time with my Grace here, Gracier in first rank. Then my Plague Priest, because these are all my casters who sometimes make magic missiles and Pillar of Fire and something like this. The Warlock Engineer. And then the Battle Standard Bearer. The second Chieftain, it's not so important at the start because he is in the most times only for challenges. So he must stay in the first rank. He will go in another rank. And my Warlord. And the problem is, when I start with my Warlord in the first rank, and if I stay in combat, and I stay at a position I don't want, I can't move through the ranks to change the position in the fighting rank. That's really a problem. And so I put him also not in the first rank because, like I said in the last video, Skaven have one of the best and stupidest rules. When I come to combat or the movement phase before the combat starts, I will put one of my characters back to the last rank. Most times it will be my Warlock Engineer. So he moves back. And now there's one free place in the fighting ring, or if your opponent attacks you in front and side, then my Warlock can decide where he wants to stay in the first rank, if only there's the combat, so in the fighting rank, or if you were attacked at 2 or more sides, I can also decide to go into the side. And after attacking, I can move with my characters backwards. And next combat phase, with the rule move through the ranks, I can go back at the position I want. That's a really nice rule of Skaven. And it's important to know that you can every time, if you want, choose the right position. Sometimes it's not interesting to stay direct in contact with enemy characters. Like I said in the last video, if you don't want to go into the challenge and maybe you want to kill the unit, then put your characters outside of opponent's characters that they can't die, attack, and then go back in the last rank. This can only happen if your opponent don't stay in your rear rank. That's why I told you don't play too aggressive and stay at every moment clear that this will be happen. Or if opponent come too near, then choose not to fight and next movement phase to fly around and away. if you think it will become really terrible. And this maybe is a point where you tell me, yeah, you are fancy. Yes, but for this I have my night runners. Because maybe like this. If I can see this 5 scouts, but if the night runners don't declare a charge 2, I can't go through them, and then it would be an impossible charge. And the Games Workshop FAQ told only you must declare if you stay in marching column, or when you use a lamentism spell with a ward save. But if there's a unit in the way who don't declare a charge, then you don't must declare a charge. Sometimes I make it only that one model overlaps, so that I don't must declare a charge. Okay, then next one. That's only things at start, and now we go a little bit in detail in movement. One of my favorite phases with Skaven. And I put a little bit the empire together, and first we are thinking we have only one pillar of fire. And now that's the thing all armies could do, but Skaven has more options to do this, because they have demonology and they have battle magic. And we have 2 spells to say, I will bring this pillar of fire in my first round in your deployment zone. Because we could cast direct Steeds of Shadows on our Night Runners. Then we can move them 24 inches. That's one way. Or we, if we don't cast Steeds of Shadows, we have another option. We could say we want to cast Move 12, March. Okay, I put them a little bit away because to show you it's easier. Okay. March, then cast Arcane Urgency and march again. Move another 12 inches. But first I will show you what I mean if I use Steeds of Shadow. First, I told you we will have a look at only one pillar of fire. I will doing like this. It's a little bit easier. The question is, you want to have the perfect way. It's not really not so easy, but I think this could be a good option. Okay. Like you can see, I built a line and have a really long distance, and I would move them like this, and then I don't must really go forward. I only maybe move like this. I could then also move more forward, and then I can cast the pillar of fire. I don't know. Maybe it's here. No, chieftain. It's not so easy. Plague priest. Okay. Pillar of fire has a range of 12 inch. And now I could cast the pillar of fire direct behind, and because I don't move outside of my deployment zone, my opponent can't dispel it, only with fated dispel. And start of my next turn, I can send the pillar of fire through my own unit into the backfield of my opponent. It's not perfect. And hit, in this case, 3 units. Sometimes the opponent places too many units too near together, and then you can hit really hard much and a few more units. I could show you what I mean. I think I put it a little bit more together. Okay. Something like this could be really become crazy, because I only must stay or can stay 2 inches away, because the pillar of fire moves as long I can't place it. And then do this, and then moves here through these all units. Sometimes you can, if you stay at the middle, you can also build a really long line. Only look that you stay with your caster outside of 24 inches of your opponent. And now we get in a second way. Okay, if we have 2 pillar of fire, we can do something really crazy. Then I would put it like this. But for this case, we must go a little bit more forward. And we will also stay outside of dispel range. No, I think he is nearer. 24. This is a dispel range. So we stay here. If he deploys his wizard a little bit forward, then maybe you will use the long line. And if you have 2 Pillar of Fire and have the option to do this, then you could say you move 5. And then cast the 2 Pillar of Fire direct over each other behind the unit. And now maybe you think why you place not the long line. Because the Pillar of Fire do also damage to our own unit. And most times 3 die, sometimes 4. And that's why I put this. If 4 dies, when the first Pillar of Fire goes through, then we have also direct contact without rolling. If I roll a 1, I would also move through. And that's why, because I'm thinking that you will lose 5, it's not really realistic. But if you lose 5, then you must roll a 2, but it's not too crazy. And most times you will pass the leadership because you are 12 inches away from your general. So that's not really a problem for you. And you can also move the second Pillar of Fire through the unit. And then you stay for the units at the front. Inside 24, you can cast other magic missiles. You don't must go straight forward. You can have a look, stay the first 2 turns a little bit more defensive. If your opponent plays much MSU units and you would think, okay, you can kill with Pillar of Fire and magic missiles over 100 points and give your opponent things to think, because that he will kill something. It's not really realistic. And when your opponent see that he will lose the game, only short, but he will lose, some opponents start to make bad decisions and go more risk than they would normally do. And that's when you can shine, stay defensive, and if your opponent go inside, you can kill him or countercharge or something like this. Or if you think it could be go bad, then fly away. Don't risk anything too hard. Like I said in the last video, if only 1 dragon charges in, not a problem, because you can challenge everything fine. If 1 second unit go also inside, most times also not a problem, because your characters can kill the other unit. But the problem will be when the opponent can charge from more than one side with high unit strength. That then it could become a problem. You can a little bit work with this, and movement is everything in this game. To have a look that this don't happen. Now, the next point I want to speak, it's Night Runners are really great. I will go back. Because they have one really, really good rule. Okay, one model is left, but it's not really a problem. Okay. If there's a great brick like the Night Goblin star with 90 Night Goblins with short bow and poison attacks, or something like the Camry great block, you could also use the Night Runners to block line of sight or gives hard cover. You can place them like a close order unit, but it's in skirmisher and have only a little bit place between that your wizards who want can look through. That sometimes also help. And one of the greatest rule in the game, I think. With the hill, it's a bad. It's bad to show you, but if the Hellfire volley gun wouldn't stay on the hill, she couldn't look over it, and then I put in the most times 2 units Night Runners in the front when my opponent have many shots or overlap a little bit. That something like this. Maybe the steam tank wants also to shoot with his grave shop. Need more nails. And then I can use evasive. Evasive, it's such a great rule. Oh no. I want it in the other way. And then fall back in good order. The opponent can't see them any longer. And next turn I can move back again. 12 inches, marches and stay again in the front. At the third game at the VTC, I played against Orcs and Goblins with great brick Night Goblins with bows and with war machines. And I put 3 units Night Runners around my Plague Monk brick, and I think the Night Goblins with the short bows can only shoot the last two, or could only shoot at them the two last turns, because before I always have Night Runners in way, fall back in good order with evasive, and then next turn go forward in the front or the sides of the unit that he can't shoot me. And why not only one unit to do this, something like this? Because sometimes there's magic missiles and something else, and you most times if you play against armies with so great poison units, you need more than one unit, because you can do it only once per turn, and so it's better for this case to have more than one unit. Why I place to show you the unit in the middle. This was a game where he plays a little bit more defensive, because nothing in his list can fight with my unit. But I have also the problem, if all fanatics came at the same time, I also can't charge into it, and we play command and control. And so for me it was, I play it defensive and go in the and play it like this, that he don't go too near to the center of the battlefield, because then he become also a problem when I could go straight into it. And I stay so long outside the direct center of the battlefield that I can go or make the option of go aggressive, but I went then in my last turn at the center, hold the center of the battlefield, and become the 200 points. Yeah, that's one option. And now what do you will do against first charge? Because then you lose your ranks, and there's an easy way to deal with this. And when your opponent have higher initiative, when he charges than your characters, and therefore you can do this. Like I said before, you can place your skirmisher like a close order unit, and you must have distance between your unit and the other unit from you. So you place it direct in the front or the side, and make sure that there's no place between the two units. And when your opponent attacks them, don't flee. That's the first important thing. Yeah, they maybe will die, or they will flee, but then the opponent loses first charge. Maybe something like this. Okay, it's not so easy to to have a look if this is exactly. But if they die or they lose and flee or fall back in good order, they pop through this unit, and then your opponent don't have first charge any longer. And if he wants to pursue or follow up, then he only moves 1 inch or under 1 inch, because the bases of the Night Runners are only 25 millimeter, and that's a little bit under 1 inch, because I think 1 inch is 25.6 millimeter, and so they don't become initiative when they charge. Yeah, they can use their lances if they overrun, but they don't become the initiative, and that's what's important, because your characters are fast characters. The Warlord has initiative 7, and the Plague Priest also 5, and or the most of the other characters of you. And when something like Pegasus Knights or not non-character units overrun into follow up into you, and they most don't have a higher initiative without initiative bonus for distances. And that's really important to know, because then you can strike first with your characters and then move backwards with them. And that's what I said. Stay more defensive, do damage with magic missiles, or if you don't roll it, like Pillar of Fire and Fireball, then wait for the right moment. Most times, when nothing great happens, there comes a point where the opponent are a little bit frustrated, I would say, and go a little bit too far away forward, or gives you options, I would say. I played in a square-based online tournament a game against Beastmen, and I kill small things with magic missiles and Pillar of Fire, and he comes, I would say, in a line with all his units. This was Shagot and Dragon Ogre, another unit Dragon Ogre, and here the Great Brick. And I move every turn a little bit, 5, and he wants to go aggressive and move around. And then I was thinking, this is a good point, because he can't see me in this in his turn, and he has problem to get away or in the right position to do anything against me. And when I charge next turn things, I can overrun, and he can't see anything more, so I cast on them Steeds of Shadows. I don't want to cast at this moment magic missiles, because I say at this point I become the right. I stay a little bit forward, I think. I was a little bit nearer, and I ended in this game at that moment like something like this. I think the Shagard can't charge them, and he can't get away with everything. We tested, and at my next turn, I think it was the last turn, I could charge one Dragon Ogre unit, and so I become at this point the points from the Dragon Ogre unit goes through. He managed to get away like he can, and he knows also if he charges me with the Dragon Ogre next turn, then I will only go in the side with my Feyblade and kill him then. And so this wasn't an option, and he couldn't get with something like this. There was not enough movement, or that if one unit wants to get away, he can't maneuver, that he can see me. And he don't want to risk that I charge the 2 units Dragon Ogre in the side. I can understand this. But this was in my 5th round where I do this move. So what's important, wait for the right moment that you can go through and hit hard. Don't risk anything you don't must risk. If the opponent comes to you, really great. Only manage that you don't must fight at the same times with the whole army of your opponent. Or stay in such a good position that he can't get through you. So show the right moment and the fights you can win. Against most things, this unit can fight. That's not a problem. Also, when you have the charge. But there's a few things what could go terrible, so stay away from these units. Okay, this video was a little bit longer. At this point, I must say I play the last half year most times Skaven, and the next weeks I will, or the first months at the start of the next year, I will play something else, because I must play between something else. It's a little bit boring. It's effective. You can without problems win games, but it's with the time it's a little bit boring. But if you have any questions to Skaven or to this video, you can write me on Discord or in the comments down below the video, and I try to answer you if there are any questions. And if you are interested in other content in future, I will bring the most content in English on this channel and only a few videos only in German. And if you are interested in Empire, I think I will play next year a little bit. And Chaos Dwarfs, I played also in the last months and was really funny and effective. Then come back for other videos and follow up the channel and activate the bell that you don't forget when a new video comes. I hope you enjoy it. See you next time. I'm out, your Anubis.